Welcome once again to our show. Here with a special guest today, we have Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and his mom, to be correct. Romeo is a young fighter from Las Vegas, Romeo Acosta. Romeo Acosta is an inspiring fighter, has been boxing for a number of years, at least 4 years now. Has his first pro fight earlier this year. And you're 17 years of age.
Yes,
and being 17 at a pro, that's unheard of. But only very few fighters get to be licensed in the state of Nevada or other states because you have to be 18 years of age. But you've done very well in the amateurs, and that's why you were given that permission to fight at the age of 17. When is your next fight?
My next fight is going to be October 5th. I'm going to put on a good show. Hopefully, we be able to see it. It's going to be a tough fight. I've been training real hard. I put in the hard work. I'm already ready.
I know your mom and dad have been behind you 100%. Your father, Armando, has been your trainer from day one. And I guess he saw that you have a lot of talent,
Yes, sir.
and he's really focused his whole life and career on you. They saw something in you. So did your mother, Nikki, who's really somebody who's been behind you more than I could say about most parents out there. I mean, you have your own boxing professional ring at your house. You have your own, it's the most unheard of training facility that you want to see of a young fighter of his age to have a full, like a gym like you can't imagine. I mean, I have a professional boxing ring in my house and the whole 9 yards, but to see somebody at 17 years of age to have something like that is something that I'm very proud to see that your parents are behind you 100%. Nikki, can you tell us a little bit about how did your son get started with boxing?
Well, he started, basically got into the boxing, which kind of helped him with school, actually. But he's always wanted to box when he was little. My mom was against it, but we kind of like waited for a minute, and then he kept coming to his dad saying he wants to box, and his dad decided, let's just try it out and see how it goes.
How do you feel as a mom having a son in the hurt business?
Oh, man. Sometimes I'm nervous, but I'm also USA boxing coach, licensed. I'm a little bit nervous when I'm in the corner at times, but it's something he wants to do.
So you work as a team with your husband in the corner?
Yes.
Even in the pros now? In the pros, have you done that? Worked in the
I haven't done the pros yet.
Okay.
I've done nationals with him. I worked the corner with him.
In the amateurs?
In the amateurs.
Okay.
Haven't done the pros yet.
Okay.
Looking forward to doing this next fight
Yeah?
in the corner. Yes.
Oh, are you going to work? They have good corner men, some of them are cut man, some of the trainers. What will be your role?
My role is to make sure that basically just the bucket in the water.
Okay, that sounds good. You know, in boxing, you always need a good corner, and if you have a mom and dad work in the corner, which I've seen only once before, the Rosario family in New York, Mike Rosario and his wife Negra did a lot of that in with their fighters, their sons, Mikey Rosario. And I remember I fought the father back in the days when I was fighting back in the amateurs in New York. And I've overseen them, the father and mother, working the corners with fighters, and of course their son. So that's very, very rare. But when you fight a father, but to have mother and father in that corner, I don't know. You may go home and have a fight with the other half because he may not agree with something. You may want to stop the fight, and he said, "Hell no, we're not stopping this fight." You know, there's a fight in the corner. Who's fighting? The corner people. Hey, come on, I don't want to see that. And if you need that, I'll be the referee for that one.
Okay, sounds.
Anyway, we know that Romeo, you have your gym set up and you're taking your job real serious as your profession, the sport. You know, you say you want to be a world champion. I think everybody wants to be a world champion. What are your goals and what do you see in the near future?
In the near future, I want to inspire kids to chase their dream. Never shortcut in life. Always give 100%. And soon I want to win a world title. I got to stay focused, stay dedicated, like I have been for the last 4 years. And the sky's the limit. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my family. They've been staying on me in school and in boxing. And I can't ask for more.
Okay, good. Now, you saw we were talked before. We talked yesterday about this past fight, this past weekend. We had Danny Garcia with Sean Porter. Can you walk us through what happened in that fight?
With Sean Porter and Danny Garcia had the first couple rounds. He came out sharp, fresh, but as the later in the fight, he started to get winded, and Sean Porter he seen a window for him to come up and start using feints, angles, come in, get out, and that's how he neutralized Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia, it was a close fight. They both fought hard. They worked hard for this fight. And the camp was real good. But Sean Porter did what he had to do to get the win, and now he's the WBC champion.
Okay, you're right. Now, that was a very difficult fight for both fighters. I predicted that Sean Porter would win, but it wasn't going to be easy. I said if it went to a decision, it'll be Sean Porter, and that's just what happened. But now this week, we have a very special fight for the middleweight championship, and that's a fight that the fans really want to see, which is Gennady Triple G Golovkin against Saul Canelo Alvarez. This is a fight that was taking place because the rematch because of what happened last year. Last year it was a controversial ending, and you fans out there know that most of you fans felt that Triple G won the fight with no problem. Even the Mexicans that came to support Canelo were upset that it ended up a draw because as much as they were favoring their fighter, the Mexican fighter, but Canelo didn't live up to what he said he was going to do to Triple G. So, and then when the decision was rendered as a draw, well, everybody got upset. And of course, one of the judges gave Canelo 10 rounds out of the 12. Come on, So that's what happened. That's one of our better judges, L.A. Burt. And then the other three judges, one had it a draw, the other one gave it to Triple G. So it ended up a draw. So I think this fight Saturday night is going to be the fight that the fans really want to see, which is and to finalize a true champion, the best 160-pounder in the for the World Boxing Council. And for the, it has 3 belts on the line. I believe it's the IBF, WBA, and WBC. So I feel that Triple G is going to come out there and try to prove to the world that he is the best middleweight out there. But one thing I'll tell you fans out there right now, when you're 37 years of age, you're not like 27 or 28 like Canelo. 37 in boxing, we consider that pretty old. I mean, very few fighters get to make it. After that, guys like Bernard Hopkins, George Foreman, and some other fighters have made it past 40. George Foreman, I remember refereeing his fight when he became heavyweight champion of the world at the age of 45. But that's very rare in boxing. But 37, your legs start to go on you, and he may have his leg Saturday night, but, Romeo, I think it's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. But one thing that fighters don't lose is that punching power.
Yes,
Triple
sir.
G is going to have that punch. That's the last thing that goes on a fighter is the power punches. And I think that Saturday night, Triple G is going to have to go out there and try to knock this guy out. And don't wait for a decision. They don't want to wait for what happened last year. They want to try to go for the knockout. Either Canelo knocks Triple G out or vice versa. But it's going to be a fight, probably the fight of the year, and it's going to be the fight to finalize the true champion, pound for pound, 160 pounds.
Yes, sir.
What do you got to say about that?
It's going to be a tough fight. I love both fighters. They again, they both work hard. They want to come on top, but there's going to be one winner. So this fight is going to be a hard fight, and I feel like if Triple G come strong 1 through 12, he can win the fight. But if Canelo uses feints, jab, don't get tired, he can probably do the upset. But we'll see Saturday night.
Exactly. Don't forget to watch that fight. It's on Showtime pay-per-view. So it's going to be a good one. Mrs. Acosta, can you tell me a little bit about, I know you have a beautiful place, location, your house. You have a business venture there. You have something that you're doing with your career in the business world. Can you walk us through what you're doing with your facility?
Yes, we have a facility. We're long and short-term rental. We're located in the Northwest area, Centennial area. And what we do there, we offer housing for people who could come into town looking for a short or long-term stay. We also do a lot of events there as well. We have different vendors that we work with, as far as like chefs, masseuse, pretty much anything that you need for your special event. We also do corporate events as well.
Okay. Now, I saw your facility is an outstanding facility. That's where you have the professional boxing ring.
Yes.
That your son is using. Is that gym also available for rent for any champions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's also what we do is we look for in case any of the pro fighters or amateur fighters coming in town need a place to stay. We have a full boxing gym there, so we also try to provide services for them as well, whether it's just for training, which Mount Charleston's only 5 minutes from there, so they can also use the property for training camp as well.
Good, good. Now, Romeo, you have the gym there. You use that gym for yourself to work out and whatnot. Some fighters come there and do some sparring.
Right.
How does it feel working in the gym at that level? I mean, it's the most beautiful gym you want to see. It's all set up, and you have the upstairs part of the gym, the balcony.
Yes,
you have the exercise, the treadmills, the bicycles, your weights. You have that upstairs. On the second level, from inside the gym, you have like a little balcony, but it's like an enclosed room with a window looking out into the ring. It's a beautiful setup, and you use that facility there for you to keep yourself physically fit. What do the other fighters, how do they feel when they come there and work out with you?
The first thing they tell me as soon as they come to the door, this is motivating, because not only that is motivating, they want to get their own gym soon, and it's also inspiring because a lot of pro fighters look up to me too. And be like, you're only 17 with a gym. This is truly humbling, and they see me going places, and me working with them in my gym is a blessing because they tell me every time, you are truly blessed. And I thank my father and my mother because they didn't have to be watching over me. Right. They choose to do because they believe in me, and I'm truly humbled and blessed. And I'm gonna keep being blessed and being humble. But a lot of people come and tell me.
Yeah, I had this couple come over this past weekend, Sylvia and her husband Bruno, and they came with their son Armin. Armin was a football player out of Arizona. He's your age, 17 years of age, and he's very tall and weighs about 190 pounds, and he's a very physical. But I saw you talking to him in the corner there in your gym. You were talking for quite a while. What were you telling him?
I was just telling him to stay humble and be motivated, keep the dream killers away, because you're going to get a lot of those in your career. It doesn't matter what sport or what career you're in. You're going to get a lot of dream killers. And don't look at it as a negative thing. Use it as a positive and motivating thing, because that when people tell me I can't do this, I can't do that, I practice it, I perfect it, and I show them, and they look, man, this kid has talent, and I love when people motivate me, because at the end of the day, it's only me in that ring. I can't let it bother me. So, but I just told him to stay focused. Don't let the dream killers come.
Mrs. Acosta, now your husband Armando and you have been very strong. You have a daughter. You have a brand new granddaughter as well.
Yes.
She's about 3 months old now.
Yes, sir.
And so that kind of changes your whole life around as well, because now when you get that grandchild, you say to yourself, wow, if I knew I was going to love that baby so much, I would have had my granddaughters first.
Yes.
Because they are the most loving thing in the world. She's a little doll. She's adorable.
Thank you.
And so now that you have your granddaughter, you have your son with his career, and you're trying to manage your career as well. Talk to us a little bit about the clothing line, the logos that you created with your son. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we came up with actually his father and him came up with the logo, which was the crown. I got with a lady named Cheryl Rhodes, who's the graphic designer, and she came up with designing a crown. My son wanted to do something based on boxing, but also showing that as a king, to represent himself as a king. And with the euros that we put on there, it was basically symbolizing boxing on a global level, and basically traveling, getting money from different countries.
Can you show us a little bit of one of your
Yes.
T-shirts there? Walk us through this whole thing.
Yes, the crown is his logo, which stands for a king
Okay,
in his boxing.
right.
And then we have the euros, which is basically just kind of saying that, money on a global level.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then we have just basically, you can always follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And his name is Kings with a Z, Ways with a Z.com.
King's Ways.
King's Ways.
Okay, .com. Okay, very good. Now, and let's see the front of it. What's on the front?
And the front of it is just basically advertising our company.
Okay, and the name of the company
It's
again?
The Sky is the Limit.
The Sky's the Limit. Okay, very good.
And it's basically a mansion rental and entertainment.
Okay,
So we do, like I said, we do a lot of things on that property. People use it for a lot of things, for weddings, corporate parties, and even just to stay.
and just for the training too.
And the training as well.
Yeah, very
Definitely
good.
the training.
Yeah, good. So anyway, I like to, to tell you that I'm so impressed with what you have done so far. And I met you guys a number of years back, especially Romeo when I met him and his dad. We met as we were at some little fast food place, and I was sitting there having a little lunch or something.
Yes, sir.
And he, what happened that day?
It was me and my father. We was just coming from the gym. I think it was 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was the second year of me boxing. We come from the gym late at night. We go to the Santa Fe Fat Burger,
Okay.
and then we're just sitting down. We see you get in line. Dad, I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to, bother you. He said, man. He said, it's good to communicate. So
Yeah.
he comes up to you and talks to you and says, "Hi, Mr. Cortez. How you doing?" He said. So we start chopping it up. Then you come over to me. He's like, "You look like my son. You look like you could be my son." He start showing me pictures of when you was younger. Man, we look alike.
Yeah, we look a lot alike. Yeah, back in my fighting days, but of course we look a lot alike. When I used to have a lot of this on my head, it was like like Joe Cortez.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, it's an honor to have met you and your dad on that, because now we have a good long relationship going, and want to make sure you get to accomplish your dreams and help you walk you through. So if the fans out there know who this gentleman Romeo, you think of Romeo and Juliet, you think of Romeo and his mom, but Romeo is a man that has a lot of talent. He's young. He's has the ambition to be somebody special in life. Now, I tell you fans out there and your viewers that sometimes in life we don't all make it. I wanted to be a world champion one day. When I was just like Romeo, and things didn't work out for me. I didn't have the right management people behind me back in the 60s. And times were different. Now you have with social media, you have so much going out there. People can see who you are. And Romeo Acosta is a name you're going to remember, because there's not many fighters named Romeos. Very few. And if you got one like him, you always think Romeo and Juliet, Romeo and his mom, or Romeo and who's ever going to be the woman, the lady in his life. But we know that Romeo is going to go places, and I always believe that if you stay focused and give it all you have, give it 150%, you're going to make it. I didn't make it as a champion in boxing. I did okay. I did with 18-1 as a pro, and I did very well in the amateurs. 6-time Golden Glove champion, New York Eases and Nationals, but it didn't work out. But you know what? I was smart enough to know that there was another career in line for me, and little did I know I'm going to end up as a referee. But I ended up first in hotel management at the hotels in Puerto Rico with the El San Juan, the El Conquistador Corporation. And that's where I met Pat Masher, who was a referee in my fights in the amateur years. Once he gets out the hotel, he's the man that planted the seed in my head about becoming a referee, Pat Masher. He was a policeman in New York. So he had that blue blood in him that came around and told me, Joe, I think you should become a referee in the amateurs when I was at the hotel in Puerto Rico. I moved back to New York the following year. Next thing you know, in 77, I'm already an amateur referee. The same year, they turned me pro. So, there is life if you don't make it in the ring. There's other gentlemen I spoke to yesterday, one today, ex-fighters. They want to see what they can do with their careers. One is 30, the other one's 33. I told them, listen, you know what? At your age, it's kind of hard to really start making it to the top now. Maybe you could consider being a coach or being a referee or a judge, But you got a family. You got to get yourself a real job to make ends meet. But I was trying to encourage individuals, never give up, because if you're not a champion in the ring, you could probably, I'm sure you'll be a champion outside the ring. Mm-hmm. And that's what, when I talked to Romeo and I talked to his mom about, and your dad about, things in life, you're blessed. You got mom and dad to support you and not get you going, but you're learning, because if it doesn't work in boxing, you still have a career ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's a trainer, whether I'm sure you're going to be a father one day. You're going to be a role model for them, just like your mom and dad were for you.
Yes, sir.
So there's always another chapter in life. When I retired from refereeing at the age of 69, I said, you know what? I'm out of here. I got to do other things. My dream was to be doing something behind the mic or in front of the camera, just to make sure that I can do something to keep my boxing going, because it's in my blood.
Yes, sir.
I'm passionate when it comes to boxing, and I want to make sure that I try to help out wherever I can. And seeing you is an inspiration, because, again, like I said, you do remind me of me when I was 17 years of age. But I didn't have what you have. You got mother and father,
Yes, sir.
to encourage you and push you along the way. I only had a mom, who did. She was also a single parent, and it was not easy, trying to bring up 4 boys, and she did a very good job about it. But she made me the person that I am today. And of course, there was another role model, Gaspar Indian Ortega from Tijuana, who came to New York and got me into boxing, and he's another like a big brother. So you got people on your side, including myself, to make sure you get there.
And that's important.
And Mrs. Acosta, anything you want to tell the viewers out there in reference to your career, what you're doing, what are your goals? What do you see on the horizon?
Right now, I'm just focusing on the rental part of the property right now and looking to expand. Right now, I'm a grandmother, so right now I'm so excited. My granddaughter.
You still look like a teenager.
Thank you. My daughter, also, we're trying to direct her, get her on the right path of running the company. So for me, I'm looking forward to just letting my daughter run the company, me and my husband focus on raising my granddaughter and just traveling.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear people talk about what you have. You have a nice family, granddaughter, your son, your daughter. I mean, you have a career ahead of you. You guys are still young. You still got a long ways to go in life.
Yes.
So you still have a lot of things to accomplish. But I know that in boxing, it's a tough business,
yes,
boxing is not easy. People may think it's easy. A lot of fans enjoy watching, but they don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
And behind the scenes, you guys know that it's a business that there's so much of the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you train.
Discipline.
A lot of discipline that goes in behind being a fighter. And you got so many fighters out there that made so much money throughout their careers. They become multimillionaires, whatnot. Then you see them, they're broke at the end.
Yes.
And I don't think that's going to happen with you, because I think you got good parents that are going to guide you in the right direction, how to invest your money once you start making it.
His sister's already on that. She already stepped up. She's like, "Son, bro, when you make it, she already put her title in."
You're talking about your daughter?
Yes, my daughter. Yes.
So she was to kind of guide him on the financial aspect.
Yes, she's already stepped up to the plate, and she's already told him, who's going to be his financial advisor, and just, she's like, "Mom, Dad, you don't have to worry about it. he's not going to go through his money. I'm going to manage it. So
No, it's true that it's good to have that because, and I'm so glad to hear you guys talking like that because you don't get that from many people out there, and you fans out there, you viewers, this is an inspiration. When you, that's why I wanted to bring him on the show because I knew the background already, but I'm pulling out more information from them today so they can share with you guys out there. This is unheard of, and this is what we need more in the community. We need people to get out there and be together and help one another, brother, sister. Even your next door neighbor. I'm always trying to help people out, and sometimes, I get hurt by they don't appreciate what I'm doing for them. And I said to myself, one day they'll wake up and realize, when I step up to try to help people and get them on the right track, I do it because I care for them, because I love helping people out. But sometimes people don't appreciate that, and it's sad to see that.
It is.
But you guys you're very knitted together, and that's what I like to see. And you got to appreciate you. I'm tell you right now in front of your mom, you got to appreciate more than anything in the world what your mom and your dad are doing for you, because you're one of the blessed ones out there, getting all that attention and love and understanding from parents that really care for you. And I'm sure I'm sure you're gonna stick with that, because that's how my mom taught me how to be humble and kind and giving and pay it forward. I don't care how famous you may be, how much money you got, always pay it forward, because God watches out for people like you. You've been blessed, and we got to make sure you keep going with that. We got one round left, which means 30 minutes. I'm going to give you one round to tell me a little bit more about your boxing career.
My boxing career it's been great, and it's going to keep skyrocketing if I stay focused, which I'm going to be focused 100 and 200%. October 5th, man down, Tijuana. I'm excited. Been training hard. I'm going to keep training hard to the wheels stop.
Okay, that's good to know. You got to be positive and thinking about you're going to win. There's a lot of fight. Canelo Alvarez, he only has one defeat and one draw. And that one defeat came at the hands of Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
And you know what? And people say, well, he got his record is tarnished because now he got one loss. But you know what? He learned a lot from that one loss. You lose, and what do? You go back to the drawing board. You come back, see where you made your mistakes, and you come back better.
Yes, sir.
And that's why a lot of individuals got to think, you want to win. But if you lose one day, be prepared, because it may happen. It happens to the best. Look at Sean Porter. He lost to Kell Brooks the title. He went after Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman beat him. That's the two losses that Sean Porter had. But you know what? He's world champion again.
Yes, sir.
He's WBC champion. So see what you say. You know what? He had those two losses, but look, he's still champion today.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you got to stick with it. Don't lose focus because you lost a fight. You come back and you do better. And I'm sure you're going to do great in your next fight.
Yes,
but
sir.
just always remember, sometimes when you get knocked down, a real champion knows how to get up and keep fighting.
Yes,
and that's what I try to tell everybody out there. Doesn't mean because you get knocked down that you're a loser. That means you learn from it, you get up, and you keep fighting, and you become better. So anything in life, and I'm telling you viewers out there, anything you do in life, it's the same thing. You have to keep yourself focused. You have a downfall, something goes wrong, you come back. There's a group here in Las Vegas called Hope for Prisoners. They give a second chance. And I've been to their events of graduations, and I've taken friends there. I took Delin, one of my assistants, over to see these graduations. It's amazing where you can see, and so proud. It's like a tearjerker when you go out there. You see these people going through hell, yet they got a second chance to come back. And you got to give the people an opportunity to help them and guide them through it and pay it forward. And I'm sure that's what you're going to be doing, helping people out there. I saw you talking to that youngster the other day at your gym.
Yes, sir.
You give him some good advice. He got good parents behind him, but it's good for us also to listen to somebody like you at 17 years of age and giving them some guidance. I was very proud of you for doing that. And Mrs. Acosta, I just want to thank you so much for being who you are, and your husband Armando, who's doing a great job with the whole family. I think you guys are very special, and I want you to be focused and keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You guys are definitely, in my book, the undisputed champions in boxing.
And we also have coming up next month is the cancer awareness. So we just asking anyone that books the place during the month of October, the money that we make for that will be donated so much proceeds will go to a cancer awareness.
Well, you heard it
For
there, my
October.
friends, from Mrs. Acosta. Joe Cortez here with the show that you can't miss. Every week we're on the air for you guys, give you all we got. Undisputed champion, Romeo Acosta. See you guys next week.